Hey Achievers, welcome to ACE Academy. So in today's video, we'll be discussing the current affairs of February 10th. So let's get into the first question. So the first question is, which of the following points are correct with respect to Telangana state government budget for 23 to 24 presented in February 2023? The Finance Minister of Telangana, Chakma Kura Mala Reddy, presented the tax-free state budget worth rupees 5.20 lakh crore for next financial year 23 to 24. The total revenue expenditure is pegged at 2,11,685 crore and the capital expenditure at 37,525 crore. The highest allocation of rupees 31,426 crore will be for Panchayat Raj and rural departments. So the options are only A and B, only B and C, only A and C, all A, B and C. So the correct answer is option 3, only B and C. So now let's look at the explanation. So Telangana's finance minister is Taniru Harish Rao. He presented the tax-free state budget worth rupees 2.90 lakh crore for the next financial year 23 to 24 while giving priority to infrastructure development and public welfare in the latest budget. The total revenue expenditure is pegged at 2,11,685 crore and the capital expenditure at 37,525 crore. The highest allocation of rupees 31,426 crore will be for Panchayat Raj and rural development departments. So now let's look at the next question. So the second question is, who is the current managing director and chief executive officer of South Indian Bank? So the options are Murli Ramakrishnan, Shashidhar Jagdishan, B. Ramesh Babu, Dinesh Kumar Khara, Sandeep Bakshi. So the correct answer is option 1, Muralidharan Ramakrishnan. So now let's look at the explanation. So the managing director and the chief executive officer is Muralidharan Ramakrishnan and the headquarters is located in Thrissur, Kerala. So now let's look at the next question. So the third question is, in February 2023, the Department of Expenditure mandated all departments and public sector entities to refund dash of micro, small and medium enterprises securities in government tender for over 2 years, that is from February 2020 to 2022. So the options are 75%, 85%, 95%, 60%, 80%. So the correct answer is option 3, 95%. So now let's look at the explanation. The Department of Expenditure, which is under the Ministry of Finance, has mandated that all the departments and the public sector entities to refund 95% of the performance or bid security and liquidated damages forfeited deducted from micro, small and medium enterprises in government tenders for over 2 years. So that is between February 19, 2020 and March 31st, 2022. That is during the COVID-19 pandemic period. The relief will be provided in all contracts for the procurement of goods and services entered into by the ministry, department, attached or subordinate office, autonomous body, central public sector enterprises, public sector financial institutions, and so on with MSMEs. This order by the Department of Expenditure has followed by the Vivad Se Vishwas Fund scheme announced during the financial year 24 Union Budget, which provided additional benefits for MSME in response to difficulties they have faced during the COVID-19 pandemic in executing contracts. So now let's look at the next question. So the fourth question is, which of the following points are correct With respect to Mobility Next Hyderabad Summit 2023 held at Hyderabad, Telangana in February 2023, Telangana government launched the Telangana Mobility Valley, India's first mobility focused cluster to attract investment of around 50,000 crore and generate more than 4 lakh jobs in the next 5 years. The T-Hub, India's largest innovation center, has signed an MOU with Plug and Play to set up a co-working and incubation space for startups. During the event, 3 MOUs were announced, which include MOU signed between Automotive Test System and TUR Rheinland of Germany and Telangana government to develop and operate India's first connected and automated vehicle. So the options are all A, B, and C, only A and B, only B and C, only A and C, only A. So the correct answer is option 1, all A, B, and C. So now let's look at the explanation. So K.T. Rama Rao, who is the Minister for Information Technologies and Industries under the government of Telangana, launched the Telangana Mobility Valley, India's first mobility focused cluster with an aim to attract investment of around 50,000 crore and generate more than 4 lakh jobs in the next 5 years. The TMV was unveiled during the Mobility Next Hyderabad Summit 2023. The first edition was held in Hyderabad International Convention Center in Telangana. The summit was organized as a part of Hyderabad E-Mobility Week, which is from 5th to 11th of February 2023. The TMV also aims to promote mobility startup in Telangana. T-Hub, India's first largest innovation center, has signed an MOU with Plug and Play to set up co-working and incubation space for startups. So during the event, 3 MOUs were announced, which include the MOU signed between Automotive Systems and the TUV Rheinland of German and Telangana government to develop and operate India's first connected and automated vehicle. So now let's look at the next question. So the fifth question is, name the country that has recently collaborated with European Union to set up 3 working group under the Trade and Technology Council. So the options are United States of America, India, United Kingdom, German, Australia. So the correct answer is option 2, India. So now let's look at the explanation. So the European Commission announced that India and European Union have formed 3 working groups under the Trade and Technology Council to strengthen strategic relationship with the trade bloc. The 3 working groups are Working Group on Strategic Technologies, Digital Governance and Digital Connectivity, chaired by Secretary, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. And the second group is Working Group on Green and Clean Energy Technologies, chaired by the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. And the third group is Working Group on Trade, Investment and Resilient Value Chains, chaired by Secretary, Department of Commerce. So now let's look at the next question. So the sixth question is, which organization has recently released the Asia's Economic Integration Report 2023 Trade, Investment and Climate Change in Asia and Pacific with the key finding that greener trade and investment play a major role in tackling climate change in Asia and the Pacific. So the options are World Bank, International Monetary Fund, Asia Infrastructure Investment Bank, World Trade Organization, Asian Development Bank. So the correct answer is option 5, Asian Development Bank. So now let's look at the explanation. So according to the Asian Economic Integration Report 2023, Trade, Investment and Climate Change in Asia and the Pacific, released by the Asian Development Bank in February 23, greener trade and investment play a major role in tackling climate change in Asia and Pacific. The greener trade and investment is also crucial for incorporating a separate chapter of efforts to mitigate the environmental concerns in the region, trade agreements that can help ensure the effectiveness in achieving climate goals. So, the AEIR 2023 states that Asia and the Pacific are one of the most vulnerable regions to climate change risk, and yet it is responsible for around 50% of global annual carbon dioxide emission CO2 emission. The trade and investment which have played a major role in economic growth of Asia in the past 10 years have also led to an increase in CO2 emission in the region. So now let's move on to the next question. So the seventh question is, which country is the first World Trade Organization member to formally accept the new agreement on fisheries subsidies in February 2023? So the options are Germany, Albania, Finland, Switzerland, Japan. So the correct answer is option 4, Switzerland. So now let's look at the explanation. So, Switzerland has become the first World Trade Organization member to formally submit its acceptance of WTO's new agreement on fisheries subsidies. So, the WTO agreement on fisheries subsidies was adopted on June 17, 2023 at the 12th Ministerial Conference, which was held in Geneva, Switzerland. It is the second agreement reached at the WTO since its inception. The first world legally binding multilateral agreement on ocean sustainability and the first WTO agreement with an environmental focus. So the agreement must be ratified by 2/3 of WTO members in order to come into effect. So let's move on to the next question. So the eighth question is, name the bank that has recently partnered with GeoJet Financial Services to launch a wealth management platform. So the options are Dhanlakshmi Bank, RBL Bank, South Indian Bank, IndusInd Bank, ICICI Bank. So the correct answer is option 3, South Indian Bank. So now let's look at the explanation. So, South Indian Bank has launched SIB Wealth and Wealth Management Platform in partnership with GeoJet Financial Services to offer a range of financial services to high net worth individual customers to invest their money in best financial instruments available in the market. This platform will enable the bank account holder to maximize their wealth through personalized, efficient, and convenient investment solutions. So, GeoFit Financial Services is an investment service company with a 35 years of experience in providing effective financial solutions. So, now let's move on to the next question. So, the ninth question is, which company has recently become India's first fintech platform to support cross-border UPI payments? So, the options are Paytm, PhonePe, BharatPay, Razorpay, Freecharge. So, the correct answer is option 2, PhonePe. So, the correct answer is option 2, PhonePe. So, now let's look at the explanation. So, PhonePe has launched support for UPI international payments, making it India's first fintech platform to enable cross-border unified payment interface, that is UPI payments. So, Indian users of PhonePe can utilize this feature to instantly pay foreign merchants using UPI when they are traveling abroad. So, UPI International is intended to make transactions safe and simple for millions of Indians traveling abroad. It supports all international merchant outlets with local QR response. QR stands for Quick Response Code in United Arab Emirates, Singapore, Mauritius, Nepal, and Bhutan. So now let's move on to the next question. So the 10th question is, name the payment bank that has recently launched Bizkatha, a current account with unlimited transaction for small merchants and business partners in India. So the options are Airtel Payment Bank, Paytm Payment Bank, Fino Payment Bank, India Post Payment Bank, Geo Payments Bank. So the correct answer is option 1, Airtel Payment Bank. So now let's look at the explanation. So Airtel Payment Bank has announced the launch of Bizkata, which is a current account with unlimited transaction and instant activation for small merchants and business partners in India. So Bizakata, which is why the Airtel Payment Bank was created exclusively for small merchants and business owners who utilize saving account for business purpose. Since they cannot meet the minimum balance required for their business account, there is no minimum balance requirement to be maintained by the merchant. So now let's move on to the next question. So the 11th question is, in February 23, the Department of Financial Service, Ministry of Finance stated that the Government of India had approved increasing the number of executive director positions in Indian Bank to dash from 3. So the options are 8, 5, 7, 4, 6. So the correct answer is option 4. So the right answer is 4. So now let's look at the explanation. So the Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance stated that Government of India has approved increasing the number of posts of executive directors in Indian Bank from 3 to 4. In August 2019, the DFS, which stands for Department of Financial Services, announced that the nationalized banks with a total of 10 lakh crore or more as per the last declared result should have 4 executive directors. So now let's move on to the next question. So the 12th question is, name the company that has recently partnered with GSM, which stands for Group Special Mobile Association, to launch a digital skill program to offer training to rural women in India. So the options are Bharti Airtel, Reliance Jio, Vodafone India, Flipkart, Amazon India. So the correct answer is option 2, Reliance Jio. So now let's look at the explanation. So Reliance Jio and GSM Association, the Global Mobile Network Operators Organization, announced that the national rollout of their digital skill program to offer need-based training to rural women in India. The aim is to give rural women and others from low income and marginalized group the training they need to efficiently use their access to internet. Under this program, the GSMA and the Geo team collaborated to identify existing digital skill gaps and develop need-based digital skills trainings and toolkits that are India specific. So the thing to note here is that as per the GSMA Mobile Gender Gap Report 2022, women in India are likely 41% less likely than men to use mobile internet. So now let's move on to the next question. So the 13th question is, who has recently received the Hurran Industry Achievement Award 2022 for remarkable achievement in the world of business? So the options are VP Nandakumar, Rishad Premji, Nandan Nilekani, NS Raghavan, N.R. Narayanan Murthy. So the correct answer is option 1, VP Nandakumar. So now let's look at the explanation. So VP Nandakumar, the managing director of Manappuram Finance Limited, received the Hurran Industry Achievement Award 2022 for his remarkable achievement in the world of business. So he received the award from Rupert Hogweff, who is the founder of Hurran Global, at Hurran India's award ceremony held in Mumbai, Maharashtra. The award recognizes the contribution of Manappuram Finance in the non-banking financial space. So now let's move on to the next question. So the 14th question is, in February 2023, K. Satyanarayanan Raju was appointed as the Managing Director and the Chief Executive Officer of which bank? So the options are Union Bank of India, Punjab and Sindh Bank, Canara Bank, Bank of India, Bank of Baroda. So the correct answer is option 3, Canara Bank. So now let's look at the explanation. So the government of India appointed K. Satyanarayanan Raju as the managing director and the chief executive officer of the state-owned Canara Bank with immediate effect. So K. Satyanarayanan Raju has succeeded L.V. Prabhakar, who resigned from the office on 31st December 2022. K. Satyanarayanan Raju joined the East Vijaya Bank in 1998 and has risen to the level of Chief General Manager at the Bank of Baroda. And Vijaya Bank and Dena Bank were merged with the BOB in 2019. So now let's move on to the next question. So the 15th question is, who has recently appointed as the brand ambassador of Myntra? So the options are Shraddha Kapoor, Vicky Kaushal, Anushka Sharma, Sara Ali Khan, Ranbir Kapoor. So the correct answer is option 5, Ranbir Kapoor. So now let's look at the explanation. So Myntra, Bangalore-based Indian fashion e-commerce company which is owned by Flipkart, has announced Ranbir Kapoor as the brand ambassador to endorse men's fashion wear on the platform. So he will feature in the brand campaign titled Be Extraordinary Every Day, which is slated to go live shortly alongside Kaira Advani. So Myntra's association with Kapoor will help the brand to tap into his popularity and national appeal. This strengthens the platform's tie with Indian film industry and establish Myntra as the go-to source for newest and on-trend fashions. So now let's move on to the next question. So the 16th question is, name the Indian Institute of Technology that has recently signed an MOU with the Indian Space Research Organization to collaborate on application of extended reality in the Indian Human Spaceflight Program. So the options are IIT Kanpur, IIT Delhi, IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, IIT Guwahati. So the correct answer is option 4, IIT Madras. So now let's look at the explanation. So ISRO and IIT Madras have signed an MOU to collaborate on application of extended reality and other technologies in Indian human spaceflight program. So IIT Madras is set to develop a training module for Indian spaceflight program using augmented reality, virtual reality and mixed reality. To advance research and development in the domain of extended reality, ISRO would make use of the advanced technologies developed at the recently formed Experiential Technology Innovation Center at IIT Madras. So now let's move on to the next question. So the 17th question is, in February 2023, Indian Navy Light Combat Aircraft and the MiG-29K fighter aircraft successfully formed their maiden landing and takeoff attempt on which Indian naval ships? So the options are INS Virat, INS Vikrant, INS Kanderi, INS Vikramaditya, INS Arihan. So the correct answer is option 2, INS Vikrant. So now let's look at the explanation. So Indian Navy's light combat aircraft and the MiG-29K fighter aircraft have successfully performed their maiden landing and takeoff attempt on the Indian naval ship INS Vikrant, India's first indigenous aircraft carrier. So the indigenously developed light combat aircraft landing were carried out by the pilots of Indian Navy. So the maiden landing of MiG-29K marks the integration of the fighter aircraft with INS Vikrant. So the thing to note here is that the INS Vikrant was commissioned by Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi on 2nd September 2022 and the carrier was built by Cochin Shipyard Limited at the estimated cost of rupees 20,000. So it is 45,000 metric ton vessel in 262 meter along and long and around 60-meter wide. So now let's move on to the next question. So the 18th question is, Australian cricketer Aaron James Finch recently announced his retirement from international cricket. In which year Australia won their first International Cricket Council T20I World Cup under the captaincy of Aaron James Finch? So the options are 2021, 2014, 2016, 2012, 2022. So the correct answer is option 1, 2021. So now let's look at the explanation. So Aaron James Finch, Australia's most successful T20I captain, announced his retirement from international cricket. Under his captaincy, Australia has won their first International Cricket Council World Cup in 2021 against New Zealand in Dubai and United Arab Emirates. So in 2014, he was named as Australia's T20I captain, replacing George Bailey. He captained Australia in 76 T20Is. He has captained Australia in 76 T20Is, more than any other men's player, leading the team to maiden ICC Men's T20 World Cup title in 2021. He also won an ODI World Cup title with Australia in 2015. He has played 92 matches in IPL, scoring 2091 runs at an average of 25.19 and strike rate of 128.20. So the thing to note here is that in September 2022, Aaron Finch announced his retirement from One Day International 50 over format. So now let's move on to the next question. So the 19th question is, what is the theme of Safer Internet Day 2023 that was observed across the globe on 7th February 2023? An internet we trust, exploring reliability, all fun and games, exploring respect and relationships online, together for better internet, online rights, responsibilities, our internet, our choice. So the correct answer is option 3, together for better internet. So now let's look at the explanation. So Safer Internet Day is annually observed across the globe on second day of second week of February to raise awareness of emerging online issues and current concerns and to promote the safe and positive use of digital technology for children and young people. So Safer Internet Day 2023 is observed on 7th February 2023, marking the 20th edition of Safer Internet Day. The theme of Safer Internet Day 2023 is Together for Better Internet. This has been the campaign slogan since 2019. So the first ever Safer Internet Day was observed on 6th February 2014. By then, 14 countries, 13 European countries and Australia celebrated the day. So now let's look at the next question. So the 20th question is, the United Nations World Interfaith Harmony Week 2023 observed across the globe from 1st to 7th February 2023, in which year the first ever World Interfaith Harmony Week was observed. So the options are 2014, 2012, 2010, 2009, 2011. So the correct answer is option 5, 2011. So now let's look at the explanation. So, United Nations World Interfaith Harmony Week is annually observed across the globe during first week of February from 1st to 7th of February to promote harmony between all people regardless of their faith. So, the World Interfaith Harmony Week is observed from 1st to 7th February 2023, and the mantra of this is love of good, love of neighbors. It's not only a slogan but a pale and an existential imperative to ensure our survival as a species. So, the first ever World Interfaith Harmony Week was observed on 1st to 7th February 2011. The World Interfaith Harmony Week is based on the pioneering work of the Common World Initiative, which was authored by Prince Ghazi bin Mohammed and released in 2007. So that's it, we are done for today. So I'll meet you tomorrow. Till then, goodbye. So till then, eat well, sleep well, study well. I'll meet you in my next video. Bye bye.